Hi, welcome. I'm Janet Zabala, a transformational life coach and writer. Gina and we've been accountability partners for the last year and a half almost. We're talking to author Gina Vallance today, and she is the author of Amberly and the Secret of the Fairy Warriors. Here's her amazing book. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi. Well, thank you, Janet. My name is Gina Vallance, and I've written Amberly and the Secret of the Fairy Warriors. It was inspired by my own childhood and dealing with Meniere's disease, which is an inner ear disorder which causes dizziness and loss of balance. And so Amberly actually has a paralyzed wing, which causes her to have really bad balance. She can't fly, but she has to use a running stick in order to keep her balance. She runs and leaps faster than any other fairy can fly, despite her disability. And it's basically about persevering and even being creative in your way that you persevere. Like Amberly has to kind of overcome her disability by proving to her mother that she can become a fairy warrior, that she does it in a creative way in order to help her keep her balance. And so that's basically what helped me as a child was just my creativity and writing, which was always helped. It always helped anxiety or depression, whatever I was feeling, because I was just a very sick kid and I missed a lot of school. So it caused a lot of anxiety, depression, and writing just was like therapy for me. And it always has been. It's basically inspired by my disability, and I really have a heart for kids with disabilities, and I just want to empower them and let them know that they're okay despite whatever ails them or whatever they think is different about them, that they can still persevere no matter what.
What age group is this book written for?
So it's middle grade for ages 8 to 12.
That's such a critical message for children of that age. They're going through so much, especially at that age. You can feel like an outsider, an outcast, because you feel all alone in your challenges. You don't have that larger perspective. Even middle grade age or adults like me, sometimes you feel alone in the challenges that you have. Kids that age get exposed to amazing creativity and work like this. They're able to see that they're not alone and see how they can turn their challenges into strengths. We've been partners for over a year. I want to talk about having big dreams and then talk about turning your challenges into strengths. And then I want to talk about our accountability partnership because it's been a piece of both of our progress in this last year. I know that both of us have big dreams on what we want to do and what we want to accomplish. For me, having big dreams and things that I want to do and put out into the world and just having big goals has been really something that has motivated me to kind of get up in the morning and work towards something. And I don't know what your thoughts are on having big dreams and how that has had a place in your life and your motivation.
I had this dream of being a writer since I was 9 years old. I wanted to write films and I would write poetry as a kid and short stories. I always loved animation and TV shows, and I was interested in screenwriting. As I got older, I did study screenwriting and I wrote a couple screenplays. Every morning when I wake up, it's just always there. I get up, I meditate, and I'll write in my journal, and I try and do as much creative writing as I can before, because I also have a day job. So I try to write before my job. And it's really what has kept me centered all these years. And it's brought joy to me, even though I'll worry about it and think, oh, I'm not getting enough done, or I'm not succeeding in the way that I want to. But it does also give me a lot of joy to have this passion. And I think that people that do have a passion, if you feel like there's something you really, really want to do, you just need to go for it and do it, and do as much as you can, even if it's just a little bit every day, just to really, focus on what it is you love to do.
Absolutely agree. And I tell people when I'm coaching them, small steps every day, a small amount of time, small steps, but consistently over time get you to where you want to be. Where can they find this book?
It's on Amazon. You can find it on my website, authorginavallance.com.
But also, you have it on Audible. So I think that that's really cool. Another option that you have for this book.
Yes, my narrator, she really brought Amberly to life. It makes you feel like you're watching a movie when you hear her acting it out. My goal is to eventually make it into an animation. I'm currently networking for that, and I just recently joined a group called Children's Animation Association. I'm trying to just network there and see who I can meet and who would want to help me with bringing this little story to the big screen that it's just been so near and dear to my heart for so long. So.
Yeah, talking about having big dreams, I encourage people to have big dreams. Sometimes our dreams so big and audacious that you wouldn't be able to achieve it, but now you have. So, small steps, you joining this group and making the contacts. I think that that is so important, those little steps, and I hope to see it on the big screen.
Thank you. Since I was so sick growing up, it wasn't really until age 29 when I finally received some treatment that stopped my dizziness and the nausea. It interrupted my life all the way up until age 29. And so I always have, God, I'm already 29. I haven't published my book yet. And this has been my dream since I was little. I'm finally just kind of letting that go and realizing, well, there was a reason why I had that illness and why I was feeling like I was behind, is just to tell people that, and you're not behind. You're where you're supposed to be. And
Yes.
hopefully I'll be speaking to the right people that needed to hear my story. And so I'm officially letting that go, that I haven't published sooner, because I had to go through some things first.
I love that. You're exactly where you need to be right now. It's not too early, it's not too late. You're exactly where you need to be. How did you turn those challenges into strengths? How did you took the challenges that you have and you focused them into this writing, but how did you actually find that this was an outlet for you and that you could turn the challenges that you have into the strengths that you now possess?
As a teenager, I knew when I would write poetry, it felt like it did help therapeutically. It helped with my severe anxiety and the depression, and it helped me to become more creative. That's where my strength lies, in wanting to help people with
Mhm.
using the tools that helped me, which was creative writing, positive affirmations, and just telling a story about a strong female character who can overcome odds.
That's right. I kind of have the same themes. I participated in this compilation book, Own Your Awesome, in the last chapter, chapter 27. It's called Honor the Landscape of Your Life. It's really what it's about, is taking the hardships that you suffer and then recognizing that those things gave you strengths and abilities that you can take into your life, that you have taken into your life now, that you use those challenges, created attributes about yourself that you embody in your life. And it also kind of often gives you direction and how you want to focus your passions and your energy. For you and me, it's kind of like trying to heal others. That's how we've used our challenges and turn them into strengths.
We need to teach our girls to be empowered and to believe in themselves and be strong, and don't back down no matter if you feel like you're different or you're being bullied. That's another thing too. Amberly is bullied in the story. I want to share with girls that they can embrace their uniqueness and stand tall against bullies and persevere through the art of creative expression, which has always made me stronger.
We have been in our accountability partnership. When did we begin? I feel like July last year. Our accountability partnership for me, and before we were meeting weekly, I felt like I was all over the place. I was focusing on too many things. I was just all over the map, and I had a hard time making progress. This book that I'm publishing, it has been in the works for, I want to say, 10 years, but with this accountability partnership, I zoomed to the completion of it. So, how were you before our accountability partnership began?
And how it's helped me, it was hard for me to even like talk about my book before, because I had already published my book before we started. It was
Right.
hard for me to even talk about it to people. I was nervous about it, a little bit anxious, and so introverted in some ways. I have a hard time just sharing. When we started the accountability partnership, it helped me with the social media because that was like pulling teeth for me. Just I didn't want to do it and learning like the software for different things and email marketing and the different things you have to learn to market your book. I was slow at getting through that and wanting to do it. Meeting with you really helped me get out there. That was a big accomplishment for me, and I don't think I would have done it if had we not been meeting. And you're always there to help me through my insecurities. Every week, there's something that I need to get off my chest or talk about. So it's helped me on being more open about my story and open about what I want to share with the world, and instead of just being so in my head. This
Yeah.
has helped. I want to get my message out there and
Yeah.
believe it's helped me believe in myself a little more, a
That's
lot more.
awesome. Another way that it's helped me is that early on, we talk about what we were working on, and then we'd each make a big long list of all the things that we want to do, all the things that we wanted to accomplish in 1 week. We'd have a list of 10, 12, 20 things each. Then we'd get together the next week and we wouldn't have our list done because it's impossible. One of the important things that I have gotten from this, and hopefully you've benefited from this too, is to give ourselves credit for what we have accomplished and recognize that we can't do everything so fast and that we can't have unreasonable expectations of our time because like you said, you have a day job, I have a day job. It's kind of hard to get all these things done when you're working two full-time jobs doing these things. I think that
Right.
perspective on the amount of things that we want to accomplish and even bringing that in closer, that I want to focus on one or two, maybe three things that are my major focus for the next time period. That's how it's helped me, is having that conversation and speaking it out loud. Inevitably, both of us would come to the table like, oh, I haven't done anything. And we'd be
Right.
like, excuse me, remember you did this and this and this and this?
We both have been really good at pointing out what the other person has done. That's why that's been so great having you
Absolutely.
as an accountability partner.
We meet once a week. If you're looking for an accountability partner, Gina and I have similar goals in the writing area. I kind of taper off and go building my life coaching business. Try to find somebody who it has the same kind of path or trajectory that you have, somebody who can compassionately hold you accountable.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I just want to say that I feel very blessed and I feel lucky that you're a life coach and that we are partners because you've helped me so much in that area. So
I know. So
yeah.
sometimes we'll be
I,
like, is it okay if I go into coach mode? And so we'll do
yeah.
a little coach thing and then I'll come out of it.
Yeah. So I've benefited so much from your coaching, all of your coaching and your compassion, and you've just been great and I'm really grateful.
You've been my biggest cheerleader as well. And I asked Gina, I begged her to write the forward in my book. That's how much your support has meant to me through this time.
I am working on some art therapy and expressive writing activities for LGBTQ plus teens and tweens. So that they're on my website as well, the activities for them. Because I believe in empowering children with disabilities and LGBTQ plus kids. Yeah, and so I really believe in expressive writing and art therapy as a way to help people feel more empowered and confident, and it's just a great way to heal as well.
I hope everybody was inspired as I was and as I have been by your mission and what you're putting out into the world and what you're accomplishing. I think it's so important. I'm so excited to see everything else that you have coming up and a big screen movie. Let's put it out into the universe, in order to manifest things, like let's put it out into the universe, feel like it's already in existence. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed this conversation, and if you're working on big goals and big dreams, if you get inspired to get an accountability partner, I promise you it will help you in your progress and meeting your goals.